That should be much. That should be much better. All right. Sorry for the delayed start. We got there in the end. The Paz thing is interesting. The Azzurri embarrassed themselves on international break. Juventus decide to sack the manager that won a treble with Inter. The director that Juventus got from Napoli sacks the manager that is an Interista. Word it any way you want. It's not going to get any less funny, is it? Is it? Mo has shifted with these settings again, hasn't he? Shifted with these settings again. I'm going to have to change them. Again. Oh, my days. Oh, my days, Mo. Oh, my days, Thiago Motta. Oh, my days, Juve. Oh, my days, football. It's actually nuts, isn't it? It's actually nuts. What should we start with? What should we actually start with? Let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's get this disaster. Hey, Gab, how you going, man? You'll find out if I've heard something new. I haven't. Let's start with the boring stuff. Italy got absolutely embarrassed. However, this guy on screen had a really good game today. Mose Ken. Well done to him. Fair play to him. The goals were awful. The second goal, Germany's goal. I know a lot of Italians have sucked today, bro. They are completely within their rights to do that. That German team is completely within their rights to do what they did on the second goal. Completely within their rights. I know it sucks. I know it's dirty. I know it's borderline unsportsmanlike, but guess what? It is legal. It is full-blown legal. They have the right to do that. The Germans have the right to do that. What's going on, Rick? Good to see you as well, bro. Germany 3, Italy 3. While Germany wasted a lead and squander a 3-goal lead, they won't care because they win 5-4 on aggregate altogether and they go through to the Nations League semi-final. They scored 3 times in the first half. We were shit. We let in awful goals. Very impressive first half from Nagelsmann and his men. Donnarumma picking the ball up out of the back of the net 3 times. Kimmich, 30th minute penalty. They move on to face Portugal in the semi-finals now, who don't look that fresh. Musiala scored as well. Kleinheist added a 3rd as well. Ken got 2 back, and then I thought that Italy got a penalty because I was just updating the shit on my phone, and then it was reversed. We did get a penalty in the end, in which Giacomo Raspadori scored it to make it 3-3. But yeah, like Gab says as well, like I'm saying, it was sneaky. They caught us. They reaped the benefits. If that was Italy or Inter that did that, holy shit, I'd be jumping out of my seat, sending that video to every single rival fan, everyone in the world going, this is how you play football, my friends. Stop blinking. You might miss something. But today it happened at the expense of the Azzurri. It happened at the expense of the Azzurri. Would you believe it or not? Cheers to what has been a fantastic Monday bar this result. I don't care about the Nations League at all. Nobody does. Don't sit there and tell me that you care about the Nations League. I'm going to look in the camera as I say this. You don't. You don't care about the Nations League. You've been told that the Nations League is important when really it's just what FIFA international friendlies used to look like. You don't like the Nations League. However, you have been warming up to the idea that Italy could possibly get that World Cup automatic qualification spot. Well, that spot is gone. We will need to qualify the normal way. And guess what? The normal way is not that hard. Our toughest opponents in the group are Norway and Israel. If Italy cannot get through a World Cup qualifying group with Norway and Israel as their biggest competitors, I will continue my trend towards retiring from being a fan of international football, and that one just might put me over the line. However, as an Azzurri fan and faithful since I have been 6 years of age, I really hope that Italy goes to this qualifying group, wins every game, whips the group up, and goes to the World Cup with confidence. That being said, we will not win the next World Cup, even if we do qualify, for as long as Spaghetti is manager. Shout out to Luciano Spalletti. I do respect him a lot more than what I probably just came across. But Spaghetti, not very good for the national team. Not very good. He broke up the interblock, then said it was the best thing since 1982. He's conducted himself like a dickhead. All right. You see this right here, yeah? You see this right here. For the Inter fans watching, and I'm sure that's 99% of the people, would you be accommodating to this Raspadori and Fratesi trade? I haven't said it vocally over the years, but those who know me close enough know. Yeah, of course we will, Sergio. Ciao, brother. It's good to see you. You looking forward to this weekend? You looking forward to Udinese? I'm starting to get nervous. I've always thought Raspadori was a good player. I feel like in a lot of the conversations that I've had with people, I'm the one that rates Raspadori higher than anybody. Physically wise, I know he's inept, but so was Paulo Dybala. And I'm not comparing the technical level of Raspadori to Dybala. I honestly do believe that Raspadori, as an Inter fan, he can do great things for Inter. I have always thought that we would get him at some point. He is the sort of attacking profile that I would look forward to coming off the bench every single game. Every single game. In terms of wage space, we know for a fact that Correa and Arnautovic have quite a pretty heavy salary combined between the two of them. I think it's about 9 million or 10 million altogether just between the two of them. But Raspadori, on the other hand, earns, I think, 4.1 or 4.2 million per season, or 4.5, something like that. He would have had to have taken a very, very big bump when he signed for Napoli. But at that wage and that age, that's the sort of signing that you want. If you can just get Jack in for those two players, you would save on wage cap and bring in someone in the age bracket we're looking for. Then we can start looking at the rest. This topic will probably come up one more time in the stream. Anyway, there's 14 people here right now. Big up. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. If you are new, thank you for all the positive feedback lately as well. Gab says, Spalletti shouldn't have played Di Lorenzo as a right wing back. Didn't provide anything going forward. Maldini wasn't good either. Maldini was poor. Di Lorenzo was poor. Di Lorenzo is poor more than he is not when he plays for the national team. Let's move on to something more positive. For us, this is Inter Worldwide at the end of the day. Just because the live streams I do lately are more Serie A orientated in terms of those one a weeks, don't think that we're not here to laugh. Don't think we're not here for banter. Don't think we're not here for the good times. Ole, 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 ole. Thiago Motta. My goodness. Talk about funny. Talk about hysterical. Talk about hiring a man who won the treble with Inter to coach at Juventus. Remember when some of the Juve fans were calling Antonio Conte Agent Zero? Oh, my days. Thiago Motta sacked in March. Hired in August. Sacked in March. 8 months. 8 months. 8.5 months. I was about to say, yeah, there are a couple of jobs that I worked at for less than 8.5 months, but forgive me, I was 15. 8.5 months. Ciao, Thiago. Uno di noi. Campioni d'Europa. 2010. And nothing will ever take that away from us, from me, from you. So can we all, if you are watching this stream right now, either do one of two things: have a sip of the drink you are holding, or at least just contribute to a round of applause. For Thiago, uno di noi, Motta, who has Juve out of both cup competitions and out of the top four, minus 12 from the pace. That sip tasted weirdly good. Who replaces him? Igor Tudor. And I don't think this is a bad appointment. You want to know why? Because I don't recognize anything left of this Juventus club. But they've kept on to a little bit of Juventus DNA. Igor Tudor has a history with the club, if people don't know. He was assistant manager for a period of time as well. But he's a player, first and foremost. And that's what the fans remember him more fondly as. Whether I think it's a good appointment or not is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Do I think that he's capable of doing a good job there as a coach? I don't know. I don't think so. Because managerial-wise, he hasn't done anything that's really impressed me in the long run. Great player for those guys. Played for them for like ages, man. Ages. Like almost 10 years. Like I only remember him. My first ever recollection of him as a player is when he was playing for Siena. Because I started supporting football like in 1998-99. But in terms of access to technology, Australia and I only started to have a relationship with the internet and football around about 2005, 2006. And that was like his last season when he went to Siena. And I knew his name. But then I forgot about him. And then obviously he started his managerial career. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he spent a large amount of time in Greece or like Turkey, maybe Turkey. Decent amount of time in Turkey, bit of time in Greece. Probably started at Split, Hajduk Split, because he played for Hajduk Split. And his youth career as a player was with Hajduk. Probably Hajduk is how you say it. I don't know. Hajduk Split. So he probably finished his, or probably started his managerial career with there, although I don't know that as a fact. Anyway, he ends up as Juve as the assistant manager at some point in the turn of the millennium, 2021. And then he goes and coaches Marseille. No, it can't be Marseille because he coached in Serie A. He couldn't have gone straight from assistant manager Juventus to Marseille. Can someone help me out? He had a coach. He had a team in Serie A in between there. It wasn't Genoa. Was it Chievo? It was Verona. It was Hellas Verona. I did it. Thank you. He coached Hellas Verona in between the Juventus assistant manager role and going to Marseille, which is probably a decent appointment for the guy. Yeah, he coached them for a decent like 50 games or something like that. But Marseille is a tough environment. Marseille is a very hostile environment. But, you know, it's not that he had hard environments before. He was in Turkey. He coached freaking Galatasaray for like a year. And then after, I forget who he came. He came back to Italy at some point in between there, but I've got no idea who he coached in between there. But I know he did come back to Italy at some point before he went back to Juve. Anyway, Marseille wasn't good because he was meant to stay a bit longer. He stayed there for about a year. And I remember him saying it was just because he was exhausted with the club, like exhausted with his relationship with the club. He then goes for Lazio after Sarri resigned. And 6 months later, I think he was out of a job again. So managerial-wise, I don't know if this is the right move for these dudes. But one thing it will do is it'll inject them with something up their ass to win over half of their games before now and the end of the season, which should be enough for them to get top four, you'd think. We'll see what happens there. Sergio obviously shares our concerns. We are very upset that they fired Motta. We are very upset, to be honest. But he did a good job as an infiltrator. Yes, he did. Very good job. Bravo. Bravo. He made them spend 200 mil. Yes. Out of the copy. Yeah. Very good. Overall, I would say this is a great job by Marotta and the Marotta League, Sergio, as you can see. as you can see. Yes, I believe that us at the Marotta League Mafia, who have a complete control over everything that happens in Serie A, we need to keep our standards high and keep making sure that we do, we keep up to this standard of sneakiness. Okay, what's the point in being the Marotta League if you are not going to do it properly? So I agree. Very good job. Let's see what Beppe can cook up next in terms of inside jobs, because corruption is the name and winning is the game. My guy. Hey, Rino, ciao, brother. How you going? Mortadella, finally out. Shame on Giuntoli on what he said. That's an interesting thing that Rino says. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because that's pretty ruthless. That's pretty ruthless what Giuntoli said as a director. To say I'm ashamed of appointing you when it's him himself that did the appointing. Do you think maybe that Giuntoli is just covering his own ass there? Anyway, I don't want to talk about that too much because then it makes it look like I'm focusing just on making this all about Juve. But it's not. It's about Thiago Motta. It's about Thiago Motta, uno di noi. Mortadella is gone. It's very sad. I wanted him to stay. Sergio and I wanted him to stay. But he is no more. Moving on from Thiago Motta. Oh, no, wait, not moving on from Thiago Motta. I completely forgot. I threw another photo in there. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. On a jersey with everything on it. On a kit with everything on it. Club World Cup champions, Scudetto, Coppa Italia, and the Champions League badge. That's actually one jersey I don't have because I lost mine years ago and never replaced it. I don't have that jersey. I really should get that jersey with everything on it. I really think. Yeah, it's interesting what he said. It's interesting what he said. I think he's just covering his own ass. Yeah. Yeah, Reno knows it's a joke, but yeah, Thiago, remember Reno at the start of the season, we were having conversations, you and I said, he's not one of us. He's not in that crop. He had fallouts with some of the Argentines in the dressing room. He won a lot with us, but Thiago Motta is not considered, La Grande Inter, as we call it. Like he doesn't sit at the table with the legends. He doesn't really even get invited to the party. But in this situation now, in terms of bantering you, he's the biggest legend of all time. So we got to run with that for a little bit. There you go. There you go. Forgot again. Put in another photo. Had to put in another photo. See, I made this slideshow at about 6:30 this morning pre-hand, so I forget. I forget what 6:30 in the morning Anthony decided to do because it's now 5:30 p.m. Anthony. Oppa, there's a third one. How did I forget that there was three? Oh my God, does this slideshow actually end? Does it end at all? Or do we just stick with Thiago Motta? We're going to run it back. We're going to run it back a couple slides. Run it back. Run it back. Look at that. Look at that. That's against Napoli as well. Look at that. You know what? He looks very fit there. He looks fit now. Looks fit now. Good manager. A lot of promise for the future, I believe. It's good to be home, baby. It's good to be home. But no, good stuff. All right. That's enough now. That's enough banter. Let's banter ourselves a little bit. We are not in for this guy. And I wasn't going to talk too much about it. Hey, Nati, good to see you, bro. Thanks for coming through. We've got 18 people on Inter Worldwide, which is good for 5 p.m. at this time of the day. Like the video, subscribe if you are new. And if you are watching it back later on, let me know who you are. Comment, tell me who's watching it back and what you think. It's important. Let's keep the community growing and going. Nico Paz. Now, you know what inspired me to do this? Uncle Shama. Because I was going to talk about it in a short. And then I woke up. Then I woke up and I watched Uncle Shama's obsession video. This was like 2 days ago. And it was perfect. It was perfect. The way he describes it as this weird obsession in which Zanetti invited him to his restaurant and, just because we've identified him as a natural bloodline, not a bloodline, but you know what I mean, an Argentine heir to the next one to come through Inter, it's a little bit over the top. It's a little bit over demanding. And for a player like this at this point in his career, he's actually at the perfect place to be on loan at a big club like Real Madrid. So it doesn't surprise me whatsoever when the news breaks that Real Madrid are very much inclined to leave him at Como. You can't just bring him back and sell him to Inter. This has never happened before in these terms of these signings. You know, there are so many different options. This guy would rather go on loan to different clubs, and a couple of different clubs have been rumored as well. A couple of other clubs has been mentioned as well. Fiorentina was one of them. The way he's playing at the moment, you really think Cesc Fabregas would not keep him at Como for another couple of years, at least for another 1 year? And, you know, Nico Paz might want to go to Inter in the short term as a stepping stone to Real Madrid. But does Inter see Nico Paz as a stepping stone? No. We don't. But at the same time, the only way that this, in my opinion, could be negotiated is if, what Nati is saying, you throw big money at Real Madrid, which we don't really have, although the Oak Tree model would suit this. You go in with a partial payment. I was thinking, why can't we loan him from Real Madrid? A loan with an expensive option or an obligation. Why can't we loan him for 1 or 2 seasons at Inter? And if he's really good by the end of those 2 years, then we buy him for 30 million, 35, 40. Gives us time in the background to generate some of those funds. However, Real Madrid have got all the bargaining power here. Not only do they own the player, not only do they have the rights to the deal, they are the pinnacle. They are Real Madrid. This is not a club where the player is looking to slide out of. This is a Hakimi situation all over again, except Real Madrid haven't come clawing back for Hakimi because A, Hakimi is killing it. B, Real Madrid is killing it. It ain't broke, don't you know what I mean? But Hakimi would go back in the blink of an eye. Every athlete in the history of the game would go to Real Madrid no matter what. Nico Paz is waiting for Real Madrid eventually. What he does in the meantime is up to Real Madrid. And that's the be-all and end-all. It's up to Real Madrid. So this sort of shit, it's not real. It's not real just yet. It's not real just yet. And I wish I was sitting here today saying something different, but it's not real. It's not real. And I think that Nico Paz, for the better sake of his career, would be better off staying at Como for 1 extra season. He's adapted very well. He looks like he enjoys it there. And if Como survive relegation, which they will, I mean, that was the one other thing I was going to say. If Como somehow bottle their spot in Serie A, which they won't. They're too good to cough up that many points compared to the teams below them in Serie A this season. Well, then Nico Paz is staying at Como 1 extra season. I think that with Real Madrid keeping half of his rights, they've done what any other team or any big team would do and made sure that they stay in the box seat in terms of control. It's very clear that Paz's future lies in the hands of Real Madrid, and I just don't think he would complicate it by moving to Inter. That's the be-all and end-all. He wouldn't complicate it by moving to Inter. I wouldn't mind going for Arda Güler as well. Like Sergio is saying here, that would be a fantastic alternative. Fantastic alternative. He scored a goal for Real Madrid this season. I know he did. I saw him score one for Real Madrid this season. He's been back at the club for like 2 years now. But proving yourself at Fenerbahce and then only being sporadically good at Real Madrid is one thing. The thing about Nico Paz is that he's got a whole season of Serie A under his belt at a grindy club. That's going to go a lot farther than Güler. Integration-wise, adaptability-wise, being ready on match day 1-wise. Paz is where the big smart money is. Güler is a loan. It's a paper crack. It's a 20-year-old that we are not going to permanently get to. We really are not. But like Anthony Lafleur, good to see you, my bro, is saying he needs to stay at Como for his development. It's too premature. If Madrid were not in the situation, best believe, we would have bought the guy for 25 M's by now and he'd stay at Como next season on loan. I guarantee that. So, yeah, I have read rumors that we might be looking at a swap for Fratesi and Raspadori or Fratesi and Paz. This is the biggest bullshit I've seen in terms of the deal altogether because Fratesi would never go from the champions of Italy to a team that is below mid-table in Serie A. He's not going to take a downgrade like that. Fratesi could sign for multiple clubs in Europe before he signs for a team that was relegated last season. Sorry, that was in Serie B last season. Where would Arda play at Inter? Well, that's a pretty good question. I mean, known for his playmaking ability, although we don't really get into that traditional number 10 role, my best thing would be he'd be relieving minutes off Mkhitaryan because he can't play deep. He can't play deep like Hakan can. And positional-wise, it's only Mkhitaryan's position that he could really fill. But he's not a pure out-and-out attacking midfielder either, is he, mate? So that's a tough one. He definitely... Gula doesn't suit the profile that we're looking for as much as Nico Paz does. Definitely not. So I'm not 100% behind that. Where would he play at Inter? He wouldn't start at Inter, whereas Paz would come straight into a starting position at Inter. Straight into a starting position for Mkhitaryan. So, yeah. We should get Scamacca and Esposito as third and fourth strikers. Why Scamacca? He's injury-prone. He hasn't played much for Atalanta. Unless we can take him on loan, which wouldn't happen. You don't loan big club to big club in Serie A. Unless we were to buy him for a really discounted price. I'm not too sure where he gets into the situation either. For me, when it comes to attackers, I know we haven't done a stream about that yet, but I think we should. I think that's an idea. I think we should start to do a couple of streams just based purely on transfers and attackers. I would like to start visiting the idea of talking about Santiago Castro regularly. I want him. I'm now pretty much in that box, but we'll see what happens. Paz would be a starter at Inter. Zielinski, vice Paz at left center mid. Yep, Mickey or Baron. Yep, 100% to be the right center mid. Yeah, that's fantastic as well. Like, we don't actually need to let any of our midfielders leave this season. We don't really need to let Mkhitaryan retire. We don't. I'd like to keep him around and reduce his minutes. We don't need to let Fratesi leave. I'm happy to keep Fratesi on the bench and bring him on when needed, but that's not a smart economic decision for the club, especially in our financial situation. We've also got Sucic as well, who is a nice vice Hakan. Sucic can also play pretty much anywhere in midfield. We know that, and that's a big reason why we bought him. Versatility, just in case anything at the end of the Mercato doesn't go through and we are left scratching our heads and our balls. He will be cheap after his injury problems, and Esposito is killing it. I get confused when we're talking about Esposito. Are we talking about Pio or are we talking about Sebastiano? Look, either or. I would like Sebastiano back as the striker, and I think I would like his brother as well, his brother Pio as well. Why not? Why not? But very rarely you're going to see siblings come in to be at a club at the same time. Look, that's pretty much it that I wanted to go through today, gang. It was just 3 quick things, a quick stream. We've got 20 people on here right now, so if there's something that you guys wanted me to discuss, I'm happy to stick around for an extra 10 minutes. Like, why not? There's 20 of you here. So we touched on Nico Paz. Drop it in the comments, but get to work, do something while I recap. We've talked about Nico Paz. He's not coming. There's no way he's coming. It's just way too much. Way too many factors have to come into place. At the end of the day, we are broke as a joke. We are competing on all fronts while spending absolutely nothing. It's really, really credible to the likes of Marotta, to the likes of Auxilio, to the likes of Inzaghi, and to the likes of our team as well. They really know that they've only got each other at the moment as far as the eye can see. But hopefully Oak Tree drop some money in the off-season. We'll see what happens. Udinese, my brother Sergio says, oh my God, I am fucking nervous, mate. I'm getting nervous, but I'm excited because we're at the Miazza. We welcome these early retirees. What do I mean? I said it on this channel last week. I said it for the Serie A review. And again, at Bianconeri, we welcomed Ale from the Bianconeri zone. Udinese and Torino, it says in their contract, you're lucky you get 2 extra months of holidays per season. And that's what they're on right now. They're on holidays, gang. They are on holidays. Yes, we should cash in on Aslani, Fratesi, and Taremi. Definitely. We should cash in on all 3 of them. All 3 of them. Bacciolina seems a little bit more sensible over Paz. Look, Bacciolina is a good option, but Paz is a more proven option. I guess that's what most people are saying. Like, Bacciolina is, I know he's been playing very good this season as well. Very, very good. And if we were to get him alongside Sucic, like, that'd be crazy. It'd be like we'd be starting Cavapi FC all over again after Brozovic and Perisic left. And if that's what people think will work, that's great. I mean, he's very young. I know he's very young, and he's had a very good season. He's only 21, 22 years old. So that's a good shout, man. That's a really good shout. I've got to give you that as well. Seems a little bit more sensible, probably cheaper. We can agree. He'll definitely agree to come when he knows that Sucic has come as well. So we take care of that aspect pretty easily. So that's a good shout, and I got to acknowledge the good shouts on this channel. That's a very, very good shout. It is more sensible over Paz. We don't have to jump through 1/5 of the hurdles that we would need to. Let's get back on Udinese, and then oh yeah, Pio scored plenty of goals, but it's Serie B. Castro and Lorenzo Luca are the players that are linked with. We're not going to get both of those though. Yeah, I know Sergio hates Taremi. Raspadori and Castro would be fantastic, but we can't afford both, I don't think. I don't think we can afford both. Anyway, Udinese are sitting 10th off on the table. They are 7 points off Milan in 9th. They are 2 points ahead of Torino in 11th. They don't want to win this game. They don't want to win this game. They don't care about this game. They don't care about the game. We need to kill them. We need to win this one very, very, very comfortably. Very, very comfortably. It's coming up this week. Let me have a look at when exactly it's coming up. 3 o'clock in the morning on the 31st. Are you joking? 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. On a Monday. Come on. No way. I'm not watching that shit. I am not watching that crap. 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. No way. I will set my alarm. I will wake up at 5:15. I will check the score, and they're better be a winning scoreline. Boca is in the chat. What's good, cuz? It's good to see you. What is good, my bro? How long has it been? Where have you been, cuz? Where have you been? Yeah, I know you're not usually up on this, but anyway, big up to you and big up to your family, man. It's good to see you here, Boca. What about this player? We have no money. What about this player? We have no money. Alessandro, he's got the nail on the head. He's got the nail on the head here, gang. 21 people on Inter Worldwide. Like the video right now. If you haven't already, do me that solid. Subscribe if you are new. Things are looking A-okay at the moment. We should take a chance on Felix. No. Don't do that, cuz. Don't do that. I should collab with Bayern fans to preview the game. I think I probably will. I'm going to reach out to the Bayern View, man. I'm going to reach out to the Bayern View. I have to do that. All right? Because I've collaborated with Liam and the gang before there and Zia once before, so I'll definitely reach out to them. That game isn't too far away. Yeah, 9th of April, not far at all. Yeah, I'll hit him up. I'll send him a message. Yeah, look out for buying collabs on this channel. That'll happen. Bachirino looks great technically, but he's like 5'8", like Barella. Arda is 5'9". Paz combines technique and power and is 6'2", which is pretty hard to find players like that. Great shout. The chat's full of great shouts today. Full of great shouts today, and I love that. Udinese, big game. Yeah? Big game, Sergio. Big game, everybody. Who's going to start? Because you know what? I kept saying in all these chats when people started to panic a little bit, don't buy into the bullshit that is Lautaro and Denzel. They're not that hurt. They'll be on the bench for this game. Maybe Denzel might not be on the bench for this game because he wasn't going to play against Milan anyway. Damian is back. We've got to keep in mind that as soon as we come back from international break after the Udinese game, we play Milan. And this game is where everybody was going to be rested. Everybody was going to be rested for the Milan first leg, in my opinion. So if we can get through Udinese, we are so close to getting through. A little blip at the start there. We keep the squad fit while getting the points against Udinese. We can fulfill what we were going to do from day one by playing that same squad against Milan, who should have match consistency. Yes, I'm raising my voice because I think that this is what's going to happen. I feel like I know what's going to happen. That's why I haven't panicked. And I usually panic. But I'm not panicked. I think I can see it. Quietly, my boy Sergio's been seeing it months before me a little bit, but this week, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. And I know we want to take a bit of advantage, but I'm just telling you, from rotation-wise, I see what's happening here. The way that we have welcomed players back at an inconvenient time. Something's happening here. 100% it's Oscar winning role. Like, he walked off looking injured on purpose. This is a part of the game plan. This is Il Marotta League. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. To talk seriously for a second, this is actually what it is. It's not bullshit like paying off officials like people say. It's knowing the game and how to play it. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Hate culture in general. Just hate it. Just hate it. Darmian will be back. He will start against Udinese and Milan. Darmian will play 2 games in 6 days. He will play 2 games in 6 days. Actually, it's 2 games in like 4 days. It's 2 games in 5 days. Yeah, it's not good. By that point in time, Dumfries will be back on the bench for the Milan game. Augusto will continue to start. We will probably play Arnautovic and Thuram, in my opinion, against Udinese. We will probably play Arnautovic and Taremi against Milan, or Arnautovic and Lautaro. I don't think it'll be Lautaro. Lautaro will return on the bench for the Milan first leg. Plenty of minutes for players like Fratesi. Plenty of minutes for players like Aslani. Plenty of minutes for Jan Bisek, who returns unscathed from international duty. In fact, how long was he used for in these games? He was an unused substitute today. Oh, no, he came on for Rudiger. Oh, good on him, man. Good on him, bro. That's top shit. Good on him, bro. What minute did that happen? Jan Bisek came on to replace Rudiger today for Germany. Fucking A, Jan. Fucking A, my G. Let's go. Let's go. They don't have nothing to lose, and this year they're playing decent football. 3 points, the most important thing, no matter how. Yep. 3 points for against Udinese. And then I'm just telling it right now, I want to kick them. We'll kick them out of the Coppa. We just got to come out of the first leg with something. We just got to come out with a tie. Come out with a 1-1 or a 2-2. We'll smack them in the second leg where it counts. We'll absolutely smack them. Zia, I just gave you guys a shout out. When you and Liam are ready, let's have a chat. Let's start doing collabs on both of our channels, man. It'll be good to get on both of each other's channels again, all right? Let's get one on the Bayern view. Let's get one here. Inzaghi won't want to lose against Milan again. He knows mentally for the players it's not worth the risk. He's all in for the treble at this point. Absolutely. But it's a first leg, bro. It's a first leg. This Milan team is not capable of smacking us around the park. We could field the reserves, Alessandro. You can field your Aslanis and your Fratesis. You field your Taremis, your Arnautovic's, your Biseks, Bastoni, Barella, Augusto, Martinez in keeper. You field that team. They're not going to lose by 2 goals to Milan. No fucking way. The worst we come out of that is a 1-goal loss. The absolute worst. And you know it. We're there for this. We're there for this now. I can feel it. I can feel that we are there for this. Second leg, the big boys will come out and whoop them even harder. Similar to, I think, a semi-final that we had in the Coppa Italia maybe 2 seasons ago. I think we beat him 3-0 in the semis. I don't know, or 2-0. I don't know. I think Gosens played really well in that game. He might have scored a goal. 26 people on Inter Worldwide right now, which is fantastic for this time of the day. Like the video, subscribe if you are new. And if you are watching it back, make sure to leave a comment and let me know who came through. Full strength team. The treble is near. But what I'm saying is there are a couple of players that aren't full strength. So just get the full strength players on there for Udinese and Milan. And then for me personally, from Parma onwards is full strength team every game. From Sunday, the 6th of April, match day 31 in Serie A is full strength Inter every single game. Every single game. I love how the numbers are growing and everyone's getting all G'd up in the chat, and I'm getting even more G'd up as well because now we're talking about run-ins. Oh, God, I hope this team doesn't break my heart this season. I hope that they don't break my heart. I hope they don't break my heart and everyone else's heart. That's awesome, Reno. Thanks for doing that. That's nice that you do that, even though you're a Juve fan channel first and foremost. But anyway, these are the fixtures. What's important is that you just get through Udinese, and the first week of Milan, because then it's full steam ahead. Get through Milan with a tie, I don't care. Then you really put your full strength team in there for Parma and in there for Bayern. Full strength teams. You might be able to rest 1 or 2 players in the first leg against Bayern. I know that's a very tough game. Bayern Munich are an elite side, but hey, we have rested and rotated players in the Champions League all season long. That is not new. It's full steam ahead after that. Full strength against Cagliari, Bayern. It'll just be who's available from there on in. And you can start to do that at that point. You can watch who you start against Udinese. You can watch who you start against Udinese and Milan. Those are the 2 ways you can just get around how you're going to rotate your squad going forward. There should be no excuse for the Udinese game. Plenty of time. Absolutely. It's at home. Udinese have nothing to play for. That's supposed to be, I didn't want to say stuff like this, but that's supposed to be our easiest game left. Is it easier than that? Yes. 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 Watch. Yes. Cagliari. Yes. Bayern. Yes. Bologna. Yes. Milan. Yes. Roma. Yes. Verona. Yes. Torino. Yes. Lazio. Less Como. It is easier than any other fixture we've got because Cagliari might still be needing something for relegation purposes. So will Verona when we come up against them. We need to make an example and get our momentum going with this Udinese game. I cannot stress that shit enough. Well done. Breaking hearts. Sempre. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you for what is a very, very fun edition of Inter Worldwide. Make sure you are subscribing if you are new to the channel. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Have to make a gap. Milan must win because their coach will be next to be fired. Yeah, fair call. Look, we haven't really spoken about Napoli today, but we're not going to do that. I heard Antonio Conte was in a car accident, and I hope he's okay. That's all. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.